struck by her. He was struck by her. He had seen her in the grocery store once, then at the farmer's market, where she accepted the half of the Walmart receipt on the back of which he wrote his digits in small, insecure handwriting. He was not insecure. He was an accountant, and he happened to write very small. She read the name Tony, which was not a very attractive shortcut for Anthony. But his name was not Anthony. His birth name was Tony. His parents liked shortcuts and hated formalities. Well, not his mother, but she was subservient to his father, at least when it came to naming her firstborn son. She was gonna name the boy Marcus Aurelius, but deferred to her husband. Secretly, she called the boy Marcus Aurelius, though he responded to Tony. He invited himself over to her house, Tony. That was after she called him. She called him to find out who this poorly named boy was. He was a man, but she preferred to think of him as a boy. Any man who slipped her half of a receipt from Walmart with his little digits inscribed on the back of it was a boy in her mind. She did not necessarily want to get to know him, this Tony character. So, she called out of curiosity. And you know what they say about curiosity. He was so excited when he realized who was on the other line that he broke a sweat. She was so anxious afterwards, she ran to the bathroom and spoke to the porcelain. Both conversations would be brief and unpleasant. He was struck by her, before and after the phone call, before and after the farmer's market. Somehow he got online and performed some queries over Google search. Whitepages.com was a nice way to find out basic information without breaking the bank. He felt a little guilty, but more curious than guilty. You know what they say about curiosity. She regretted having called. She turned the half of her receipt from Walmart over and over in her fingers, until the oil from her fingerprint rubbed the ink of the digits half off. You're not supposed to use paper that way, like a touchstone. He had hoped for more of a chance. The conversation had been so brief. About as brief as they come. There had been an awkward silence. He needed time to absorb the fact of her on the other line. Her voice was not pretty common maybe. She laughed at herself after speaking with the porcelain, after speaking with him. She laughed for a second about the nature of the first conversation. So awkward, like kids. He felt himself getting younger. He felt like just a boy again. Not many women made him feel this way. He wondered why. There was nothing special about her, really, except everything. Except the way he thought about her. She wasn't prepared for his visit, neither was he. Just a boy visiting a neighbor girl is the way he thought of it. His visit. She thought of it as a supreme offense to her entire being. He was struck by her, by the flat of her palm. Not very pretty, but pretty common, the way he was struck by her.